भयो कि क्या हो?
छैन दाइ, मलाई केही भएको छैन।
Unity and all the patrons of art. Mankind has been creating and appreciating art since its very beginning. Whether it's an ancient cave painting, the work of the famous old masters of the Renaissance, or at the cutting edge of modern art, art has the capacity to capture a moment and stir up our emotions. As Banksy, the famous graffiti artist from England, said, art should comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable. Now, may I please request Mr. Gopinath to lead Mr. Sagar JB Rana, President, Nepal Arts Council, Kathmandu, to the dais, and I request the guests to please give him a big applause. Artists from Nepal to be seated in the front row. I think they're already seated in the front row, along with senior artists Senatipati, Nandan and Selvarajji. Now may I call upon Mr. Gopinath, President of Cholamandal Artist Village, to give a welcome address.
Good evening. I am honored to welcome Mr. Sagar JB Rana, President, Nepal Art Council, Kathmandu, who has come all the way from Nepal to inaugurate this art camp, a collaborative effort between Nepal Art Council and Cholamandal Artist Village. I also welcome his gracious wife, Mrs. Brinda, who is present here. I am grateful for their presence, which is great source of encouragement not only for the artists from Nepal, but also for us to take collaboration further and wider. I am happy to welcome the artists Vijaya, Krishna, Pramila, Rajani, Sujan and Sunil from Nepal, who will be working in the village for the next 7 days and exhibit their work thereafter. I wish them success and carry with them the good memories of their stay here. Finally, I welcome all those present here. Hope that you will enjoy the evening.
To please honor Mr. Rana. Now I request Mr. Sridhar to come and honor Mr. Gopinath. Mrs. Lata, can I please ask you to come on the stage and honor all these wonderful artists? It's the Miss Rajni and Miss Pramila to be on stage. Can I request Shailesh to come on this? Let's give them a big applause, everyone.
Senadipati tonight. I asked Mahendra to light the candle.
Sure.
सर आपको इधर और जाना है
I asked Madam Bista to stand.
For everyone who doesn't know, this is Mrs. Brinda, Mr. Rana's wife, who's also she's come from Nepal and she's a big patron of art. Let's give her a big hand, everyone. Mrs. Brinda. Who are these amazing artists who have come to our country, to our beloved city? We have Viraja, who is going to introduce each of them so that we know them better and we are able to help them more in various ways. So here, everyone, let's give an applause to Viraja.
Just this afternoon, I had the opportunity to interact with all the artists. I'd like to thank everyone here for that. I think they're all amazing in their own way, and I've just tried to condense a little bit of the amazing body of work. I'm sure everyone is waiting to take a glimpse of it. So I hope I do justice to your introductions. I'll start with Mr. Sunil Kumar Ranjit. He holds a Bachelor of Fine Arts from Tribhuvan University, Nepal. He currently teaches at the Sirjana College of Fine Arts, of which he also is a founding member. He enjoys sharing his art through teaching and has been in the profession since 1987. That's very long. He is recognized. Oh yes, maybe as an end. Would you like to? Mr. Sunil Kumar Ranjit. He is recognized for his skills in both sculpture and painting. And he recently visited China, where his work was selected to be installed at the Chengdu Sculpture Park. This work of his is based on the Buddhist theme of the Abhaya Mudra. His work embraces cultural and ethnic traditions of the Kathmandu Valley, and he at present is working on various series based on Mahakali Nach, as well as other contemporary and traditional dance practices of Nepal. Pleasure having you here, sir. We have Pramila ji next. Pleasure to welcome you here. Ms. Pramila Bajracharya. She holds a MFA from Tribhuvan University in Kathmandu, Nepal. She has done over 14 solo exhibits in Nepal and many group exhibits in Nepal as well as abroad. She has participated in the SAARC art camp in Maldives and Bangladesh, and recently visited China for an art workshop. She specializes in women's figurative painting in the contemporary abstract style. She is the recipient of the Birla Art Academy Award from Kolkata. Ms. Pramila majors in painting from the Center of Art and Design, Kathmandu University, Nepal. He is currently the head of Department of Graphic Communications at Surjan College of Fine Arts in Nepal. He has been part of numerous solo and group exhibitions and has also curated several art shows. His journey as an artist has been deeply influenced by both nature and culture, and he finds inspiration in the beauty of the natural world and diverse histories of various cultures. We have Mr. Sujan Dangol next. Mr. Sujan holds an MFA. He holds an MFA from Tribhuvan University in Nepal and engages in a lot of community work. He received the Australian Himalayan Foundation grant in 2013 to conduct an exhibition of his work. He currently works as a visiting faculty at Kathmandu University's School of Arts. He works with Film Foundry, an organization that has taken up documentation and documentation of archival photos and artworks from across Nepal. His work explores social contexts while being grounded in the idea of a collective. Mr. Krishna Lama. Mr. Krishna holds an MFA from Tribhuvan University in Nepal. He has been a part of various group exhibitions, workshops, as well as residencies. He has done 3 solo exhibitions so far and is a recipient of the National Fine Arts Award for Contemporary Painting. His paintings reflect his own life experiences and trace the relation between man and nature in the modern world. And finally, we have Ms. Rajni Singhwal. Ms. Rajni holds an MFA in Museology and Buddhist Collection from Lumbini Buddhist University and also a BFA from Surjana College of Fine Arts. Her teacher must be very proud of her today because she is accompanying him in the same camp. It's a really proud moment. She specializes in Pauba painting, which is based on Hindu and Buddhist religious stories. She has participated in various group exhibitions locally and internationally and has recently visited Bangkok to showcase her work. She is a recipient of the National Province Award and has worked as an art educator in the Kathmandu Triennale in 2022.
Sorry about that small delay here. Now I request Mr. Sridharan to introduce our chief guest and say a few words about him.
Mr. Rana, good evening to all. Mr. Rana has a long, illustrious career, and which is difficult to say in the short time which I have been given. However, I feel that there are 2 kinds of people in the world. One is thinker, and the one is a doer. Mr. Rana is thinker as well as doer. And there are also people who are specialists and generalists. I think, in my opinion, Mr. Rana is more of a generalist. If in case you are a generalist, I feel you are a well-rounded person. And he agrees with me. I asked him about it, and then he said, yes, he's an Aquarian. So he does one to other, other to other. So, he is good in various things. Now, I wish to speak about his, achievements and his awards. And he studied law from Oxford University, and he practiced in Supreme Court of India. And he practiced for about 3 years. Then he was also, involved in in sports activities. He's he's a national champion in tennis, and he founded the Lawn Tennis Association of Nepal, and he was secretary for many years. He's not only excelled in sports and studies, he also excelled in public administration. He was the Handicrafts Association of Nepal president for many years, and he also got the Lifetime Achievement Award in 2020. He is now the president of Nepal Art Council, and before that he was a member of the Central Working Committee of the Nepal Congress for more than 30 years, and he was involved in the international relations. So he is very passionate about having a relationship between countries, and he has traveled all over the world. And this is not the first time he has traveled to India, but he has traveled many times. But he used to do camps with the artists in Bhopal, Delhi, and other places. This is the first time he is arranging a camp. He is helping us to arrange a camp in Chennai. I thank him for that. And he's a historian and author. He has written 2 books. One book is Singha Darbar, and this is about a Rana, Rana families. They ruled the country since 1857 to 1951. 1951, when the Congress came to power. Till that time, they were the rulers of Nepal, and he is from the Rana family. And he has also written about a Kingdom Lost, a book on Kingdom Lost.
Mr. Gopinath, president of this prestigious institution, art lovers, promoters, and the gracious audience, august audience that have come to help to meet us and greet us, and I am overwhelmed by the kind of warm welcome and warm hospitality that we have received in this place, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much. Now I'd like to say a few words about my book. It is titled Singha Darbar, and it is the rise and fall of the Rana regime. Basically, it is the history of Nepal from the beginning. Through the 104 years the Ranas ruled as prime ministers, the king was always the head of the state, but our family was the prime ministerial line, successive prime ministers for 104 years. That ended in 1951. And that is my book, Singha Darbar, which is already available in the different shops as well as Google. And the second book that will be released in 3 months is called The Kingdom Lost. And The Kingdom Lost this time, that is in 2008, when the Shah dynasty also fell. So that is a period between 1951 and 2008. And I am very, very happy that I have been able to complete the entire history of Nepal within these 2 books, published by Rupa Publications, India. Another point that I want to talk about that was discussed, that came up during the previous speaker, was about the art should disturb people. It's very interesting. I would think the art is like an elephant that disturbs you if you are looking at it from his back, but soothes you when you are looking from the body, and inspires you when he raises his trunk from the front. Art has all these aspects that it depends where you are standing and viewing it. But definitely art inspires everybody. Now I have, as Mr. Sridharan has kindly described, I have a chakra on my feet, and I have traveled all over the world since I was the age of 8. All over the world. But India primarily, because I was in school there, and also England, where I was in college there. So I have covered, and then all my activities, whether in sports or in politics, or as promoter of the arts, has taken me to different fantastic areas of the whole world and of northern India. But for some reason I had never really visited and thoroughly looked at the arts of southern India. My grandfather had settled in Bangalore, so I did visit there a few times, but not as trying to look at the culture and the arts and the way of life of the people, which I did with my wife 5 years back. And that is what brought me to cholamandal, thanks to Mr. Sridharan. And I was able to view this peaceful, very homogeneous place for the artists to work in. And there the idea came to my head that Nepal Art Council and Cholamandal village, artist village, should have some program together. The reason is not only because of Cholamandala, but whole of the South India I found wherever I traveled to have a sort of kind of ambience and milieu that is very, very close to that of Kathmandu Valley. I'm not saying the whole of Nepal, but Kathmandu Valley. Kathmandu Valley is the center of politics, of governance, and of the arts. The arts and culture of arts and architecture of Nepal is truly amazing. Of Kathmandu is truly amazing. We have 7 heritage sites recognized by UNESCO list within a radius of 12 kilometers. Kathmandu is a valley that is more or less round in shape. So within this small area, we have 7 heritage sites, 5 Hindu and 2 Buddhist. That takes me to another point. I think there is the homogeneous and friendly relations between the 2 religions and followers of the religions is remarkable. When I was raised, and when most of us were raised, we went to the Buddha temple, Buddha's place, as happily and as with equal shraddha as we did to any of the Hindu temples. And we have never had confrontation between the 2. And this is a very special part of Nepal and what Nepal is. Now, the similarities I am talking about is in the festivals we have, whether it is here or there. The festival attracts the whole community of that particular area. And we have these festivals every week, one more or less. And the old and the young and the men and the women, everybody joins in it. The similar kind of activities I found in South here, in different parts of both Tamil Nadu and other provinces I visited. That is not found so much in the other parts of India or South Asia. It may have been there many, many years back, but we have retained that, both these Kathmandu and the South generally. whereas the others have been influenced by other elements and the British. There is the good and the bad in British. There is the good or bad in the Muslim influence here. But influence it has, which has been taken in, often resisted, a good part's taken it, by these two areas in the south and the north of our subcontinent. Second aspect is the sculptures, especially the metal sculptures of Nepal and South are both the lost wax process. So somehow that is also a great similarity. And I was the founder president of the Handicraft Association of Nepal. So I have a deep interest in this. And I was very happy to reconfirm my ideas when I visited the South. And I think finally and most emphatically, the similarity goes in the way we live and love. We live in very homogeneously, but with each other, the kind of kindness, the kind of welcome, and the kind of hospitality that I expect, that I see rather, not expect, that I see, that I find in this South is far more warm than most other parts of the subcontinent. And I will venture to say that you will find the same if you visit Kathmandu. And I welcome you to visit Kathmandu. I'm a little disappointed that most of you, even the scholars, have not visited Kathmandu. You must visit. I think your background about art and culture of this subcontinent will be enriched when you come to Kathmandu. And now you have friends amongst the artists, and I am there. And if you ever want to come to Kathmandu, we'll look after your comforts and your travels. It is not only the current sort of closeness that I have mentioned is perhaps also influenced by our past history. The historical linkage and connectivity of our two areas have, I presume, in mythology started with the wedding of Ram and Sita from Janakpur and Ram from Ayodhya. That is mythology. But in historical terms, it was started with the dynasty of Lichavi dynasty that ruled Kathmandu Valley. Nepal became a real nation much later in the 19th century. The Kathmandu Valley was called Nepala Mandala all these times. And the Lichavi dynasty whoever ruled in Kathmandu was considered was a supreme leader of that whole area, because it was through Kathmandu that the trade route between Tibet and India went through. And Kathmandu was a congenial place for rest. So that was also that was also the basis of its wealth. And the wealth also brought arts. Malla dynasty came to power, and they really raised the art and culture and architecture into new heights that we see today. And both these dynasties have come to Nepal from different parts of India. History is not clear as to exactly where they came from, but I tend to believe that there was something connected with South India also. There are deities that are brought from India, from South, from the middle, from different parts of India, that are established and is the is the Kul Devata of even the royalties. So that has definitely played a part in creating this homogeneous relationship. And the Lichbis and Mallas put together created a new kind of community in Nepal called Newars, in Kathmandu, called Newars. And the Newars are the fundamental base of the art and culture of Nepal and its growth, and its practice. They are the ones still who dominate art. They were definitely the ones who dominated art and sculpture. When I was the president first time, 50 years back, as founder of Handicraft Association of Nepal, out of the 69 members, only 2 were not of the Newar community. Even here, out of the 7 of us who are here, 2 of us are not of that community. So I pay my respect to all of you that you have given us this. I got a little bit of a cold traveling together. I have been away for a month and 6 weeks, so a bit of a khansi. So that is the community that resides in Kathmandu and still inspires the arts and culture, and the festivals in particular. Kathmandu is divided, by the way, into 3 cities, which was once kingdoms, and each of them has a palace, Darbar Square, and from it the art and culture, this is the center, and that it then moves out. It is an amazing place, I repeat, also because you find art, not only the arts and in the architecture or the paintings, but you find them on the doors of the people. You find them on the floors. Gods and goddesses are sprouted.
And convey our best wishes to all the artists from Nepal who are participating in the art camp. I would like to thank Mr. P. Gopinath, President, Artist Handicraft Association, and other members for making it possible in Cholamandal. I would like to thank Mr. Sridharan for organizing the camp in Cholamandal. I am happy and thankful to all the guests, artists and friends for taking your valuable time in making this evening a memorable one. I would also like to thank the press and media for covering this art camp. Finally, I would like to express my appreciation to each and every one of you who have helped in working for this camp. Thank you once again.
I think let's break now. We'll have a 10 minutes break. There are some snacks and some herbal tea that we have arranged for everyone here.
The combination of this instrumental duo is rare in the field of music. Anjani is a disciple of legendary Vainika, Srimati Kamala Ashwatthama, who is the mother of Veena E. Gayatri. Ashwini is a disciple of Padma Shri Dr. T.K. Murthy sir. They have together and separately performed more than 1500 concerts extensively in India and abroad. They have performed in many notable sabhas in Chennai as well as in other states. They perform classical, fusion, film and other genres of music. Anjani and Ashwini have collaborated with many eminent musical personalities. They've been part of Ethno Sweden, an organization which promotes cultural and musical exchange among the young musicians from across the globe. They have received many awards and accolades, which includes Kalai Valarmani from the Tamil Nadu government, Child Prodigy Award from Rotary and Rotaract Club, the titles Nada Ganga and Laya Ganga, Young Maratha Award from Maharashtra Association and Bharat Ratna MS Subbalakshmi Award from the hands of the Honorable Vice President of India, Shri Venkaiah Naidu. We are happy to welcome you here, Anjani and Ashwini. Please give them a very big round of applause.
Namaste everyone, good evening. The first piece I started with, it was about Ma Durga song, Jai Jai Durge, in Ragam Durga. And the piece which I played now, the song, it's called Bhavayami Gopala Balam, which is a composition of great saint Adamacharya in Ragam Yamuna Kalyani. Next we'll be presenting a folk number. Next I'll be performing a famous bhajan called Payoji Mene. In that way she'll be presenting her solo. supportive session. You can clap wherever she wants you to clap. So. Thank you all for joining with us. Give a round of applause for you all. Thank you. Next I'll be playing a composition of Sri Annamacharya called Narayanati Namo Namo in Ragam Behag in Adi Tadam. Next, I'll be presenting Chinnanjiri Kiliye, a composition of a great poet, Subramanya Bharati, in Ragamalika Raga. Thank you everyone. Thank you.
It's 24th February onwards is when the work will be exhibited. So please come, share it with your friends, family, in your offices, at your workplace. Bring people. Let this beautiful art created by these wonderful artists from Nepal and from Cholamandal also spread, and let art reach more people. Let us make it more accessible for the common man. And I think for that we need support from everybody. So we will look forward to all of you again on 24th with another mesmerizing evening and even more beautiful performances. So thank you once again, and we call the event off now. Thank you very much.